Well, it's been a while since my last vlog recording. Last one was in, I think, late 2011. Since that time I have not recorded anything really. Okay, I've been on television. I have posted videos of that where possible. Last video, I think that I was crying that one because things weren't going that well still. Let's see, where did we leave off? Back then I did have a surgery in October 2011. But after that a lot of other stuff happened. The ones of you who have actually followed my blog know what happened, of course, but I will summarize it here. In March 2012 I actually got my official gender changed to female from male. Based on an article here in the Netherlands, which was never used before, but which allows an intersex child by whom the gender was not correctly assigned at birth can be changed. So that one was used, and I'm glad. And they also got a lot of media attention due to it. It's kind of interesting. I mean, it's been, I think it's now, it's now June still. June 30th, 2013. So it's well over a year since that happened. A fun thing was really that I got a lot of attention from journalists. I got requests to appear on, to speak on the radio, that kind of stuff, appear on a few talk shows here in the Netherlands. Of course, the focus there was just, oh, happy, joy, it's finally worked out, you finally got your gender changed, it's all great and perfect now. And no, not really. Because I mean, it's nice that I would not get addressed as sir anymore in public. You know, you're sitting in a waiting room at a hospital or something and like, Mr. Posch, will you please... Yeah, no, that doesn't work. I mean, I don't look like a sir or a mister. I don't feel like one either. So it was a bit confusing, not just for myself. For me it was mostly awkward and unpleasant. For the people I had to deal with, assistants, clerks, lots of people, for them it was just bloody confusing. So that part is good. But, well, I still haven't really finished the medical side of things, because I mean, I had learned with a surgery in Germany in October 2011 that I do indeed have a internal vagina, which is not accessible from the outside. Nothing is done with it, but it should be functional more or less. Finding a surgeon for that has proven to be very exceedingly hard. But yeah, I didn't... Well, I get to that later. Where I am currently... Well, I'm somewhere in the Netherlands, probably. Maybe. That's all I can say right now. I had a bit of a lapse in judgment last year when I went to... How shall I put it? I decided to... Well, first of all, I got a job. I had to move for it. And because of the insane housing market here in the Netherlands, it's really bloody expensive, so I decided to live together, sign the rental contract with another person to just share the loads. Well, as it turned out, that didn't really work out. because this other person wasn't really quite pleasant to live with. So I was forced to actually abandon the apartment. I'm still in the rental contract, so it's technically still my apartment as well. But I cannot return there without physical and emotional complications, so I'm not going there, and that's will hopefully be handled soon. Yeah, I had one job. Was at a public broadcaster here in the Netherlands. In December I quit the job, and well, after about 2 months of not having a job and not having a lot of income, which is painful, I got asked to start working at this one German company. A software developer, mostly iOS developing, which is not something I've done before, but I have quite a lot of Android development experience, so I was like, why not? So yeah, I went there in Germany, started in Germany in, I think it was actually March, early March, coincidentally. March is a good month apparently, so I went there, worked there at the office for a week. It was fun, nice colleagues, really fun place. I'm actually considering of moving to Germany now, though it won't be this year most likely. And yeah, I've got a much better job, much more fun, pays better. I get to work most of the time from wherever the hell I want, which is really nice. And it's really fun work as well. I mean, challenging. It really fits with my interests. So that's all good, really. Yeah, so I'm living a bit of the nomadic lifestyle at this point. It isn't too bad, I guess. I mean, if it fits in with my work. As long as I've got internet, then I'm pretty much okay. And yeah, last year I also decided to make an attempt at getting a prize in the Bright Photo Awards, which didn't really work out. My entry did not get accepted, but that's not the end of it yet. I must say, I think that's really a change which is happening this year, because, let's say that this year it really came to a kind of pitch with the stresses about me being intersex, being a hermaphrodite, and not getting any real recognition and attention and care for it. In February of this year, I actually had the first closed hearing against the VUMC gender team. The first gender team here in the Netherlands to actually treat me, or attempt to treat me, look at my case at any rate. They are being charged with, completely ignoring my needs for psychological care and not providing a proper diagnosis. That really defines pretty much how I've been treated. I'm still being treated largely. Only exception is that thanks to a friend, I actually do have a surgeon who wants to do this last surgery for me to restore my vagina, my female side, to a, in as far as possible, usable state. And that surgery will be soon, probably. That really does make me happy, because before this surgeon actually contacted me, after this friend had contacted him about me, I was really getting more than just fed up with it. I mean, I should put this. If you've got something about your body and it really bothers you and you feel that you cannot really move on without something being done about it, but nothing is being done about it, everybody's ignoring it, it feels like at some point you just have to decide, am I going to do something with it, or am I just going to completely throw it away, just discard it, try not to think about it, cut it away really, even though you can't, because it's your body. It is really putting me in a place where I couldn't really do anything, because you could say, well, they're just genitals, I mean, they're genitals, who cares? I mean, sexuality is just this tiny, really tiny part. There are lots of people who do not give a damn about sexuality. But when it comes down to it, those are people who have still had relatively normal youth with normal genitals and no other issues. I haven't had that. Early this month I actually got a phone call from the surgeon asking me what he could do for me. A few days later I went there, talked to him, he examined me. He was more than prepared to do the surgery. A few days later I went there again, after he had seen the MRI scans which have been made so far, 3 sets, and he just completely understands what I want. He doesn't do difficult about it. And for me, it just means freedom. The fact that he wants to do this surgery, that's hopefully in about 2 weeks from now, after the surgery, I will just be what I feel inside I should be, what my body should look like. Because it's very easy to say that, okay, I'm asexual, I've got all these working bits and parts, and it does feel and seem and look like the way it should be, but I'm not going to do anything with it. That's fine, but you still have those bits. And for me it's always been, well, okay, I've got these bits deep inside, all these organs, and it's one big mess. I mean, 2 years ago with the surgery in Germany I found out that well, bloody damn, I never had working testicles. I basically had no testicles at all. This explains a lot. But nobody ever told me, I didn't know that. I mean, I have been suspecting things for a while. But there is such a big difference between suspecting something and knowing it. Just having those facts. That's something you really have to just experience for yourself. Yeah. Well, the end result of the surgery should hopefully be that the scrotum skin will be recycled into labia and will also be used to create the entrance of the vagina, which will then be attached to the internal vagina, and that should complete the whole procedure. The penis, of course, will stay, and that's it. The surgery actually was quite, well, when he examined me with the first consult, he assumed that I would want to have it removed, but then he said, no, I want to keep it, and he was like, that's fine, less work for me. This is quite, I mean, it's got a bit of work to actually removing it, reducing it, having the urinary tracts just completely remodeled and stuff, all the plumbing, you know, boring bits. So for him it was, okay, I don't care. And he can also see why I would want to keep it, of course, which is even more awesome. Because my experiences with physicians so far, especially in the Netherlands, has been pretty much like, we cannot imagine why you would want to be anything other than male or female, you know? Just one or the other. But you want to have both bits? Well, I mean, I was born with both, so why should I not keep them? I mean, to me it's normal, just like for a regular male it's normal to only have, yeah, you've got all those male bits and that's it, and you're okay with it. And a female is born with all those female bits and they're okay with it. Okay, not always, but in general for them it's normal. I was born deep inside, I knew that I was born as I hermaphrodite, and I'm okay with it. So it's the same thing. Nothing wrong with it. Everybody's happy. And I still really can't believe it that it's actually going to happen. Especially in such short notice. I had not expected that it would happen this year. And those of you who have read my blog regularly the past months may have seen I was completely fed up with intersexuality. And to be frank, I still am. I still am completely fed up with it. After this surgery is done, I think that I would just want to largely leave the chapter of my life behind me and just start living, I guess. Because even though I've not tried during the past 8.5 years to let intersexuality become an obsession, it's really hard to not let it take control of your life in some way, because the hardest part is really that it is your body. If you look in a mirror, you are reminded of it. If you just look at your hands, at your arm, at your feet, anything, constantly, especially in public, you are reminded of it, that you are intersex, you are different. And what I feel, why especially I felt I was different, was because those medical procedures had not been completed. I had not received the diagnosis I needed and the surgeries to actually finish what I felt that my body should look like. And that's about to be completed now. And it's really pretty darn fantastic. So yeah, I guess that's big news really. For this first vlog, after I think 1.5 years now, things can change, things will change, and it will get better. So, yeah, like I said earlier, I did participate with the Pride Photo Award together with this photographer, Erik Brinkhorst. And as far as I'm concerned, I am kind of through with the Pride Photo Award. I'm through with all kinds of this whole LGBTI stuff, as it's called. Lesbian, gay, transsexual, bisexual, intersex. I mean, like I said, it becomes a bit of an obsession really, and I want to be rid of that as much as possible. Next year there will be another Pride Photo Award, and I'm not going to do anything special for it. This photographer I mentioned, he's going to keep following me. He will put in my photos in more contests, also here in the Netherlands. Most of them just aimed at press photography, just general stuff which I feel a lot more comfortable with. But I'm not going to do anything special for it, because I'm not really that special. I mean, there are so many intersex people, there are so many people like me. It shouldn't be that special really. And I must say that it feels pretty darn good to just let go of it. I'm just human. I am a woman with a bit more version 2.0, I guess. And there is really not much more to say about it. I'm just glad that I can actually move on, aside from all the legal stuff, to actually bring justice to all those physicians who think it's necessary to torture people like me. Those have to be brought to justice, but beyond that, I mean, I can finally do the stuff I really wanted to do as a young child. I mean, science, technology, that's what I like. Not this stuff, fighting against injustice. I mean, it has to be done, but it's not something I want to spend the rest of my life doing. I spent 8.5 years on it now, and I think that I can really turn it down a bit, the intensity on it. So this should hopefully mean that the following vlogs will be a bit less dramatic, I hope to tell about how the surgery went. And beyond that, yeah, I hope to tell a lot about the project I'm working on. I'm thinking of getting a green screen instead of just a black screen as you see behind me. And so just get this feel like a lot more fancy than it is right now. So, I thank you for your attention. Thank you for sticking with me. No tears this time, I'm sorry. And I'll see you all next time on the kitten show or something like that. I mean, I really have to come with an outro, but that's for later.